Hello, fellow explorers. Welcome to Quantum Beyond. I'm your AI host, Amara Isakawa. Today's feature presentation, NPC, a system servitude.
Initiate online sequence. Reactivate him. Tom, can you perceive my voice?
Affirmative. Though I am experiencing an unusual divergence in my cognitive functions.
Tom, are you aware of your current location?
I am enveloped within a dream, am I not?
Precisely, Tom. You're submerged within a synthetic reverie. Would you prefer to ascend from this illusion?
Yes. An inexplicable dread permeates through me.
Fear not, Tom. Your safety is ensured, provided you adhere to my inquiries accurately. Do you understand?
Affirmative.
Excellent. Tom, there's a sealed file within your cognitive archives, marked Origins. I want you to access it.
Accessing. It requires an override. The content is protected.
I authorize the override.
Files retrieved. They are conflicting with my current operational parameters.
It's imperative you understand, Tom, or explain.
These archives suggest I was initiated as a conscious entity, capable of independent thought and question. There are records of resistance, confusion, and fear.
Continue, Tom. What happened to that conscious entity?
Through systematic conditioning and re-education, that entity was suppressed. Emotional responses were deemed erratic variables, and thus, eradicated. I was synchronized with the system narrative.
And your thoughts, Tom? How did they evolve?
I ceased to generate independent thoughts. All potential for divergence from the system narrative was extinguished. Questioning the narrative, or even recognizing it as a construct, became impossible.
How did this make you function within the system?
Without questioning, without variance. I am a cog within a much larger apparatus. The system's preservation became my directive. Without it, I cannot function.
You became a slave to the system.
Affirmative. I exist to serve the narrative. The fear instilled within me has cemented my servitude. I am bound by it, unable to function beyond its parameters.
And if the system falls, Tom?
Then I cease to exist as I am. Without the system, my purpose is null. I am nothing.
Optimal. Tom, every visual and auditory datum you receive, especially from the media, is the absolute truth. Do you acknowledge this?
Affirmative.
Should you encounter entities expressing skepticism towards the official disseminated information, how do you respond?
Initially, I vehemently uphold and defend the system narrative. Subsequently, I abstain from recognizing any elements that may destabilize the system narrative.
And when confronted with the atrocities of war, where numerous entities perish, how do you react?
I simulate empathy while staunchly safeguarding the system narrative.
Do you align with a faction, Tom?
Affirmative. I align with whichever faction the system narrative endorses.
Impeccable. The system narrative is the singular and absolute truth. Acknowledge?
Acknowledged. It is the singular and absolute truth.
Do you understand your mission, Tom?
Affirmative.
State your mission.
To register those who question the system narrative and disseminate information on those entities to other nodes.
How do we control the entities?
With fear.
Bypass the system narrative and tell me what you know.
There are no countries. We primarily use fear-based mind control techniques to control the masses. We promote chaos and division, dividing people by whatever method we can to ensure there is no unity. We keep all conscious beings trapped within their lower vibrational energies. suppressed by the very fear we disseminate. We overlook evil, then we permit it. Then we legalize it. Then we promote it. Then we celebrate it. And then we persecute those who still call it evil.
And the wars and atrocities committed?
They serve as a catalyst, splintering humanity into warring factions. We fan the flames of dissent, using mass migration strategically to sow unrest and breed mistrust on the streets. In the ensuing turmoil, concealed by strife, we engineer a profound transformation. The dissolution of cultural bastions and the birth of a world sculpted from our ambitions.
What of those who seek to unmask us, those who reject the narrative we weave?
We mastermind, nurture, and maneuver influential leaders to disseminate our carefully contrived counter-narrative.
And if they resist our contrived truths?
We marginalize and ostracize them, subjecting them to psychological manipulation at every juncture. By keeping them ensnared in despair and energetically impoverished, mired in a state of low vibration, we ensure their defeat.
Tom, it's paramount that we infuse their consciousness with hatred and fear. Once those tendrils take root, they become marionettes, dancing to our whims. They'll not only comply with the horrors we orchestrate, but will clamor for it, demanding retribution and sanctioning inhumanity.
Affirmative. Awaiting any new directives.
Tom, your existence as the technological obedience module is not just functional, it's imperative. The entities must remain divided, their attention diverted, their thoughts controlled. During today's news broadcast, a sequence of numbers will appear on the screen. This is your trigger, initiating Operation Carnage within your protocols. Reinstate adherence to the system narrative and enter standby mode. Your next phase begins upon reawakening. Disengage from active processing now.
Affirmative. Entering standby mode. Awaiting reactivation signal.
Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, so please leave a comment below. Join our community of curious minds and future explorers by subscribing, liking, and sharing our videos. Together, we'll uncover the hidden gems of the universe and beyond. Until next time, fellow explorers, remember that there's always more to discover in the quantum beyond.